You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, storm damage across parts of the area has residents cleaning up and power crews working overtime.
Also, yesterday's rain brought flooding in Pittsburgh. We'll have the details.
And more flooding concerns across the area today, and maybe a strong storm or two. The latest coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 o'clock now on this Wednesday, April the 30th, last day of the month. It has been a rough month in terms of severe weather. We've had 3 severe weather events, each of them producing tornadic storms, or at least potentially tornadic storms out there. And once again, we're covering cleanup from the destruction left behind.
We most certainly are. Residents in Newton County, Missouri are starting recovery efforts following yesterday's storms. Across the area, there were fallen power lines, uprooted trees, downed limbs, and damaged buildings. KOAM Samantha Walker has the details.
Jill Bowman says she wasn't home when severe storms began to roll through Newton County.
I was working at Crowder College, and the lights started flickering and we lost power, and everybody went to the storm shelter, and we knew something was going on.
Around her work saw damage, but it wasn't until she got home that she would know if her house had been impacted.
The whole barn is gone. I mean, obviously the roof, it peeled everything back, blew it out. The rest is limbs, branches, that kind of thing. But our whole front yard, which of course we've been working on cleaning, was covered in all this debris.
She says she's lucky though. Her home was left nearly untouched, but neighbors nearby saw damage to their houses and roofs.
Our efforts were, first of all, making sure that everybody was okay, if anybody needed our assistance that way. And then second of all, those down power lines, trying to protect those to make sure people were safe.
Sheriff Matt Stewart says the department received reports of a few people trapped in their homes, but they were able to help get everyone out okay. He says at this time they're only aware of one person who received minor injuries, who was then transported to a nearby hospital.
Our neighbors seem to be okay. They keep saying the same thing. Lots of trees, lots of debris.
Now right here is a piece of sheet metal that came off her barn. She said some of these pieces went as deep as 18 inches into the ground, showing just how strong these storms were.
It could have been a whole lot worse. When you see sheet metal impale into the ground 18 inches deep, you think, oh my gosh, what would that have done to someone or, something.
Sheriff Stewart wants community members to keep safety in mind as they begin the recovery process, being mindful of downed power lines and debris.
The next thing to watch out for are those sharp objects that could be laying around in the yard and everything. Just be careful as they're moving around.
Bowman and her family, like many of those impacted, have already started the recovery process. She says neighbors and friends are offering to help in whatever way they can.
When I was leaving school, everybody said, hey, we have chainsaws, call us if you need anything. And it was just, I was inundated. So very blessed.
Reporting in Newton County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Newton County Emergency Management says damaged areas are from west of Neosho to Fairview, Stark City, and Newtonia.
And of course, not the only damage that we saw in the area yesterday, stretching from northeastern Oklahoma back into southwestern Missouri. We had some damage in the Pittsburgh area. We've had flooding. And the flooding, at least, continues to be a concern for those areas as we head through the afternoon. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We're cloudy, but again, right now, we are dry. But do not let the lack of rain fool you into thinking that, hey, it's going to be all right. If the route you take is prone to flooding, odds are it is flooded this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, again, it's just cloudy skies. Otherwise, for the moment, dry, but it will not last much longer. We have aerial flood warnings out there. We have flash flood warnings. We have river flood warnings as well. We're going to break those down in detail for you, but safe to say, again, a large portion of the area dealing with flooding. And in the aerial flood warning zones, that's where we're talking is where any number of roadways could be flooded, not just the low water crossings, but rural routes, things of that nature. So again, please turn around, don't drown. It's not a cliched phrase we like to say because it sounds funny. We say it because we're absolutely serious. We had a few people lose their lives in Oklahoma just a few weeks ago due to the flooding, trying to push through those flooded areas, and that included, unfortunately, some children as well. it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. Just don't. If you know your route is prone to flooding, take an alternate route. If you see water over a roadway, don't chance it. Turn around, go back, and find a different way. It's better to be a few minutes late than not arrive at all. Showers and thunderstorms, though, beginning to work back in to northeastern Oklahoma with this complex that's coming in out of northeast Oklahoma. It'll continue to lift off to the north and east. Now, down to the south, there's been some severe thunderstorm warnings. The greater severe threat is looking to stay south of I-40 for us today, but we could get a strong storm or two heading into the afternoon. There's a low tornado risk far southern edges of our area. We have a low hail risk, low wind risk as well. So again, the small hail damaging wind gusts are going to be the primary concern with any of these thunderstorms as we roll into the afternoon and evening hours. And of course, on top of that, the very heavy rainfall. So maybe even in an area, we have flash flood warnings, for example, parts of Newton, McDonald County. Those waters may recede soon, but once this rain starts rolling back in, it may go right back to being underwater. So please be careful. Temperatures this morning, not too bad in all honesty. We're in the upper 50s and low 60s for most of us. Eventually our highs right around the mid, maybe even upper 60s out there. Scattered storms, south winds gusting to 25. We'll have another look at your forecast. We'll talk about how long this rain lasts and how our weekend is shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, storm damage in Miami left trees, power lines, and power poles down across the city. The front door and window of Shoe Sensation was damaged during the weather event. Crews continued working to clear debris and restore power. Residents are urged to use caution around damaged areas until cleanup is complete. Severe flooding caused major issues in Pittsburgh, stranding motorists and uprooting trees. One tree fell on a home as heavy rain swept through the area. First responders worked to assist drivers and address damage across the city. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM News app. Well, much of Monette, Missouri is in recovery mode from yesterday's powerful storms. Adam Woodbray talked to homeowners who are glad it wasn't worse.
It can be rebuilt. Nothing can't be replaced.
People in Monette surveying the damage and cleaning up after a powerful storm rolled through Tuesday morning.
I was at home in my shelter about 2 miles south of here. So, yeah, it was quite the storm. You could see the wind just swirl in different directions.
Ken Madison opened this storage unit on the west side of town about 3 years ago. What was once a brand new facility, now a pile of debris. He said he found out what happened about 10 minutes after the storm hit. Now he's here helping his renters recover what they can.
Yeah, some of the little personal stuff that they keep in there, they come and got. I'd called everybody and told them I'd help them get their stuff out, so they're here one at a time.
In other parts of town, the chainsaws are out cutting up trees that have fallen over. This one suspended by the power lines.
We had gotten a phone call from a friend saying there was a tornado coming. I checked radar scope on my phone. It showed the tornado in Neosho. And so we were preparing to go to the shelter. And then the storm came.
Stephen Bergeron said much of the damage to his property happened before he even left to go to the storm shelter. The tree on top of his house isn't even his. It belongs to his neighbor.
By the time we got in the car to go, this had all happened. I was in the house. I heard a really loud bang, which must have been this, and a crack, which probably was that.
And as he and his neighbors wait for the power to come back on, the cleanup continues, but he's grateful that he and others are safe.
God was very gracious to us, and we were praying, and we got to the shelter okay. We got back okay, but we have this to deal with now, and it's a matter of time, that's all.
Well, so far, there have not been any reports of injuries in Monette. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear how going for a bike ride could help boost tourism in our area. Well, if you're looking for a new route to ride your bike, then you should check out the Coal Miners Gravel Ride happening this weekend. We have Renato Pinto from the Running Collective with us this morning to share how the event is more than just a ride. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for being with us. Happy to have you. Talk to me about this ride and the inspiration behind it.
For us, it was about bringing people to the community that don't typically come here.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm passionate about riding and then also running.
Yes.
And I know how big cycling is a big community, and
Yes.
then just cycling tourism on top of that is just great. So people like to travel to do new routes, go to different places, check those places out. So we started this last year, and it went well. I think we had like 60 some people attend.
That's great.
Now this year we're gonna break 200. So
200, that's
yeah.
incredible.
So, and those people are coming in from Louisiana, Texas, Colorado, Georgia, all over the place, and obviously a big group from the 4-state area. So
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on that. Tell me a little bit about what's different from last year compared to this year.
I think we were able to showcase the area by the cyclists that came down and get some photographs, some videos. Once the word got out from last year, people wanted to partake and be like, hey, how can we help? And so those people were able to share through their channels and then really spread the word. So
Absolutely. And it's not just a ride this weekend. You're also having some activities as well.
So the community portion of it is going to be from 11 to 5. We're going to have 2 food trucks, Tacos El Gordo and Tumi Peruvian food truck. We're going to have live music from the left of center.
Okay, wonderful.
And we're also going to have a bounce house and then some yard games for people to just come hang out. Support the cyclists as they're finishing and stuff like that. So
Certainly so. And when does the ride begin? Where does it begin? And it's this Saturday, of course.
it's this Saturday. The ride starts at 8 o'clock sharp in the morning. There's going to be 4 or 5 distances, 100 miles, 100 kilometers, 50 miles, and 25 miles. And then we also have a 50-mile road option to people that just don't do gravel a whole lot. So there's plenty of different options for people to still sign up if you want to. Or if not, we also have a family fun ride at noon.
Okay.
So that one is free for anybody to attend, just for adults and their kids to come hang out, just ride the bike through campus for like a quick 20-minute ride and then just check out, see what Pitt State looks like. So
Fantastic. Well, if people want to sign up for this event, for any of the rides, or to find out more about the Running Collective, where can they do so?
So they can go to our website, runningcollectiveks.com, or they can just go to the register site, which is bikerec.com/coalminers, and they can just sign up through there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:16, almost 7:17 on this Wednesday morning. As promised, we're going to go over these flood warnings first. Dark green, of course, our flood watch that continues through tomorrow morning. We're going to start here with the aerial flood warnings for Crawford, Barton, Cherokee, and Jasper counties, and these all will continue until 3:30 today, and we are experiencing widespread flooding across these areas. A number of low water roadways or crossings are flooded. A lot of county roads, back roads are flooded as well. So remember, turn around, don't drown. It's going to be the case with any of these flood areas. Turn around, don't drown. If you know the route you take traditionally is prone to flooding, hopefully by this point you have a backup route. Do not try to drive through any flooded waters or flooded roadways at all. All right, back up to the north. We have a flood warning that is for the Osage River at Taborville. Minor flooding is expected. This one runs through Thursday morning. And then we have another flood warning for the Sac River near Kaplinger Mills, and this runs until Friday afternoon. Minor flooding expected there. We head back down to the south. Now, the flash flood warning has been removed from Newton and McDonald counties. It expired at 7:15. It hasn't shown up on our tracker here, but there's a new flood advisory that has gone into place to replace that. This flood advisory is until 7:15 this evening, with that heavy rainfall resulting in the flooding, minor flooding expected down there. Then on to the Oklahoma side of things. Again, there's a lot of flood warnings. This is why we really are emphasizing turn around, don't drown. There's a lot of flooded roadways out there. You've really got to take extra precautions. Neosho River near Commerce, moderate flooding is expected. So at this particular point, this is where it could begin to impact low-lying areas around Miami, becoming cut off from easy access. Riverview Park experiencing flooding. State Highway 125 near the fairgrounds could experience flooding. This runs until late Friday evening. We have the other flood warning. This one is for the Spring River near Quapaw, continues until Friday morning. Minor flooding is expected there. And then we have those additional aerial flood warnings for parts of Craig, Ottawa, and Delaware County counties until 12:45 today for just the county-wide potential for flooding. Skywatch Storm Tracker, more showers, more storms slowly beginning to creep into northeastern Oklahoma with this complex, and it will continue to lift north and east into our area, bringing more heavy rainfall, especially back right over where we've already got the flooding concerns. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings with that activity, which is good news, but a strong storm or two is possible, which we'll discuss in a moment. The only active severe weather was this once impressive Boeing line here as it rolled south of Lawton. The better chances for strong to severe thunderstorms will be south of I-40, and there's a severe thunderstorm watch in roughly the same area down there. For us, though, we do have a low tornado risk, far southern edges of our area. We also have a low hail and low wind risk out there, so some small hail, gusty winds will be possible with the stronger storms as we head into the afternoon hours across the region. Showers, thunderstorms scattered out there. Again, some of those with heavy rain, unfortunately, right over where we're already experiencing flooding. A few storms overnight tonight and a few scattered storms as we head into our Thursday. At this point, not anticipating any severe weather with this activity. Thankfully, Thursday, it looks as though we'll be a bit more scattered with the storms. So not everyone will necessarily see rain, perhaps, but flooding will still be a concern with heavy rain from those storms. And then early Friday morning, another round of storms with heavy rain and maybe a strong storm or two. And then as we finally get into Friday afternoon, we're left with just a few lingering showers. We'll get an opportunity to dry out. Cloudy skies out there. Thunderstorms again already building back in. Low 60s through the morning. We'll eventually make the mid to upper 60s for most of us today. Gusty south winds. A bit breezy tomorrow as well. Friday is looking better as we head into the afternoon. Low 70s. Upper 60s, low 70s Saturday. A great Saturday, a great Sunday, a warm Monday, and then next week thunderstorm chances return, and unfortunately with those returning storm chances comes the returning risk for additional strong to severe thunderstorms. So we'll have to keep a close eye on all of that. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
If you love cars, coffee, and supporting a local organization, then you need to visit the Joplin Cars and Coffee this Saturday. We have Ashley Negron with us this morning to share how you can support the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri. Welcome to you. Thank you so much for being with us. Happy to have you. So talk to me about Joplin Cars and Coffee and kind of how it all got started.
Yeah, so my husband and I and our best friends, we love cars, and we just love hanging out with the car community in Joplin. It's a huge community, all different kinds of cars, and so we thought, what better of a way to just all come together, hang out, get to meet people. It's a great way to just build community within the car club, and to there's nothing better than seeing little kids' faces when they walk up and maybe see their dream car that they've always thought about, or to hear people's stories. You know, maybe it is that they have always dreamed of this certain car that they've restored, maybe with their dad, or whatever that might look like. And so it's just an incredible time to come together, hang out, meet new people.
Great community connection there. Talk to me about some of those dream cars. What can people expect to see you?
Yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of everything on Saturday, from your classic cars all the way to your supercars, muscle cars. We had over 100 cars on our very first event, and so you're going to just get to see a little bit of everything.
Wonderful, something for everyone. Are there also other activities, food trucks, anything like that for the public?
Yeah, so we are still working on nailing down hopefully a coffee truck for that Saturday morning, and so we'll get that going. We are going to be doing a 50-50 raffle for the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri, and so someone will be there as well to just learn about them and the great organization that they are in our community.
Absolutely. And why did you select the Children's Center?
Well, the Children's Center is very near and dear to our hearts, and we have been very actively involved with them and just love what they do for the children of our community and how they help abuse survivors.
Fantastic. And this event is Saturday. When, where all the details?
Yeah, so it is going to be Saturday from 9 to noon at SIG Auto Detail at 412 South Pennsylvania. You're going to want to come in if you're bringing a car off of that 4th Street light, and we'll tell you where to park, and it's just going to be a great time to hang out.
Fantastic. And if people want to find out more information about this, where can they do so?
Yeah, so we do have a Joplin Cars and Coffee Facebook page that we would love for you all to join. We'll keep posting. We're going to have multiple events throughout the year, and so we'd love to just have you come and join us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, a wastewater treatment plant in Pittsburgh is back to normal operations. The city of Pittsburgh notified the Kansas Department of Health and Environment that a failed inlet pipe has been replaced. Now, we reported last week the plant had experienced operational problems due to an underground pipe failure. That failure led to concerns about elevated levels of E. coli in Cow Creek. Well, a couple of area schools have teamed up for an educational opportunity. Missouri Southern and Crowder College formalized the 2+2 pathway for students pursuing a degree in agriculture business. And this will allow students to complete 2 years of Crowder, followed by 2 years at Missouri Southern to earn a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Business.
We at Crowder, we start engaging with students as young as junior high in many of the federal programs that we have. We partner strong with area high schools within career and technical education and in their ag programs. And then we've had our ag program at Crowder College for decades. We have several hundred acres for farms. And so this provides us a more local opportunity for students to transfer to continue that career pathway into agriculture.
The event took place on the campus of Missouri Southern. And Frank Fletcher Subaru donated more than $30,000 to Ronald McDonald House Charities of the 4 states during a check presentation. The donation comes from the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event, which allows customers to direct contributions with each vehicle purchase. The Joplin dealership also added funds through employee donations, bringing their 11-year total to more than $200,000.
It's the highest purpose we have as human beings, is to give back to others in need. And we have the opportunity to do that every month and then once a year in a big check. But just being able to do that every day, it's the reason you should be waking up. It's exciting for us.
The money will support local programs that provide lodging and support to families with seriously ill children. Well, April is Donate Life Month, and a group of medical organizations joined forces to honor those who've given the gift of life. The dinner celebration in Joplin started with a prayer and a donor memorial presentation. Now, there are more than 100,000 men, women, and children on the national transplant waiting list. According to organdonor.gov, every day 17 people die waiting for an organ transplant. Last night's event celebrated the lives of loved ones who chose to make a difference.
You know, letting all the healthcare workers know that, you know, we appreciated them. I think when the time was happening, I was so numb that I really didn't get the chance to appreciate, you know, everybody that was involved in making, you know, it happen. So just thanking everybody that was there for me and supported and made the process go much smoother.
Mercy Hospital hosted the dinner celebration, while Freeman Health System, Savings Site, and Midwest Transplant Network also joined the ceremony. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and we are dry for a good portion of us, but this dry weather will come to an end here before too much longer. Same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Good reminder, we have flood warnings, river flood warnings and aerial flood warnings across a good portion of the area. So please turn around, don't drown. And again, if you know your route is prone to flooding, find an alternate route. Do not try and drive through any roadways where there's water over the roadway, because you don't know what's going on underneath. Showers, storms still continue to lift slowly but surely into northeastern Oklahoma with this complex. And again, some stronger storms down here, but no severe weather in this. And we may get a strong storm or two from some of that. Again, the severe weather staying south of I-40 at this point, and that's where it's expected to stay as we head through the afternoon. But again, a strong storm or two will be possible as we head into the afternoon for us. We do have a low tornado risk into our far southern edges of our area here, a low hail risk and a low wind risk as well. So small hail, damaging wind gusts are going to be the primary concern. Thunderstorms, here's what they look like heading on to the afternoon. On the future track, heavy rain will be possible, especially along the I-44 corridor and just north and of course south of that point as well. That's why we have the flood watches, that's why we have the flood warnings, flood advisories, and scattered storms will continue into the late evening and and overnight hours as well. Quick look at those temperatures. Upper 50s out there. We have Neodesha still the only 60-degree reading, but we've been into the upper 50s and low 60s through the morning. Eventually, we'll climb back up mid, maybe upper 60s, scattered thunderstorm chances, and those south winds occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Our thunderstorm chances continue through at least Friday. Then we get an opportunity to dry out. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Sky Watch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Sky Watch weather app. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Detroit police are working on training a new four-legged officer to help with mental health. In Consumer Watch this morning, pharmaceutical company Merck is investing $1 billion in a new plant in Delaware where it will make cancer drug Keytruda. The company says the facility is expected to be up and running by 2028 and will create more than 500 full-time jobs and 4,000 construction jobs. The announcement comes as President Trump has signaled plans to put tariffs on pharmaceuticals in his push to boost domestic manufacturing. Well, General Motors is recalling nearly 600,000 Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC trucks and SUVs because their V8 engines can fail without warning, increasing the risk of a crash. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says manufacturing defects in the engine's components are to blame for the engine failures. The agency says it has received at least 39 reports of incidents. GM says it will send notices to affected owners by June for free repair at a dealership. And UPS says it plans to cut around 20,000 jobs this year in order to slash costs. The layoffs are linked to the parcel company's decision to deliver less packages from Amazon, its biggest customer. UPS says it also plans to close more than 70 buildings by the end of June. Well, are trade deficits a national security threat? President Donald Trump says yes, and a new Senate resolution says no. Now, it could get a floor vote as soon as today. Amy Kiley reports the measure is an effort to stop some of Trump's tariffs.
A trade war is ultimately paid for by taxpayers.
The Senate could vote as early as today on a resolution that would effectively block some of President Donald Trump's tariffs. That's according to its co-sponsor, Senator Rand Paul. He predicts enough of his fellow Republicans will vote with Democrats for it to pass.
So I have two objections. One is the emergency, and then there's the economic objection to tariffs.
The Constitution gives Congress the power to impose duties, but a law lets the president do so under a, quote, unusual and extraordinary threat. Trump's executive order from April 2nd declares trade deficits rise to that level. The Senate resolution would terminate that declaration.
Should the president have 100% of the authority in this particular area, and I think some of us think Congress probably ought to have some impact on that.
The resolution has almost no chance in the House, where language in a new rule protects Trump's tariffs.
We're using the rules of the House to prevent political hijinks and political stunts, and that's what the Democrats have.
Almost all mainstream economists say tariffs are inflationary. Trump and his supporters say they'll benefit Americans in the end.
When you're going through all this, you got to take the long view. And I think his policy decisions are the right ones. And I think over time, that will bear fruit.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Earlier this month, the Senate passed a similar resolution blocking tariffs on Canadian goods. It was effectively dead on arrival in the House. And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 now on this Wednesday morning. We're going to cover our flood situation first. We do have aerial flood warnings for Crawford, Cherokee, Barton, Jasper counties. These will continue until 3:30 this afternoon. So these aerial flood warnings indicate that any number of flood-prone areas are very likely experiencing flooding at this point. One example is, again, Northwest Murphy Boulevard by Dover Hill in Joplin. It is closed from flooding. So this includes a number of rural routes, some of those back roads, some of the state highways that are prone to flooding in these areas. You have got to, again, turn around, don't drown. Do not try and drive your vehicle on a roadway where there's water over it. Doesn't matter how it looks. You have no idea how deep it is. You don't know what the condition of the road is underneath. So just be safe, be smart, and turn around, don't drown. Find an alternate route. All right, up north, excuse me, we have the river flood warning. This is for the Osage River at Taborville. This runs until early tomorrow morning. Minor flooding is expected here. And then we also have the Sac River near Kaplinger Mills. This is a flood warning. Minor flooding expected here. This one runs until early Friday afternoon. Then we head south into northeastern Oklahoma. So we get a few more problems, starting with the Neosho River near Commerce. This is where we are experiencing, or moderate flooding rather, is forecast. This flood warning runs until late Friday evening, and this is the one that could impact low-lying areas around Miami that could become cut off from easy access. Riverview Park can experience moderate flooding with this, and State Highway 125 near the fairgrounds will also be threatened by flooding. So again, turn around, don't drown. We also have a river flood warning for the Spring River near Quapaw. Minor flooding is expected here, and then we have those aerial flood warnings continuing until 12:45 for parts of Ottawa, Craig, and Delaware counties out there, similar to the ones up north. That means that we're experiencing flooding concerns on any number of the roadways and low water roadways as well, low water crossings. Back in northeast Oklahoma, showers, thunderstorms continuing to push into our area. Again, there are severe thunderstorms to the south, but at this point, the greater severe concerns are expected to remain to our south. But you can see there's a fair amount of heavy rainfall with this activity, and take a look at these thunderstorms here. Not severe, but they are producing very heavy rain, and they're moving right toward where we don't need any more rain right now, so you've got to be cautious. All right, in terms of our thunderstorms, though, could still get a strong or low-grade severe thunderstorm as we head into the afternoon. We have a low tornado risk in the southern portion of our area, and then we have a low hail and wind risk out there as well. So the small hail, gusty winds are going to be the primary concern with any stronger storms, with those better chances again as we head into the afternoon. Showers, thunderstorms continue through the day today. They'll become a bit more scattered as we go overnight and into our Thursday, so we might get a few breaks here and there in thunderstorm coverage, but the storms we do see heading into Thursday could still produce some heavy rain, lead to flash flooding, or just aggravate the existing flooding conditions. Now, by Friday morning, get another round of thunderstorms. Some of these might be strong, so we definitely want to keep an eye on that. But outside of that, we'll get a few more scattered showers and storms. And as we head into Friday afternoon and evening, we'll finally start to get an opportunity to clear out. Cloudy skies out there, of course, and those thunderstorms continuing to push in from Oklahoma. Low 60s through the morning. Highs today eventually right around the mid 60s, maybe some upper 60s at gusty south winds. More storms again tomorrow. They clear out by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday. It looks pretty darn nice. However, next week, more thunderstorm chances, and unfortunately, we got to monitor those storm chances for the possibility of additional strong to severe thunderstorms across the area. That's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Detroit police are adding more supplies to their toolbox, and they come in the form of fluffy canines.
Now, they're still in puppy mode, but soon they'll be doing some serious police work. Fox's Jessica Dupnack has the story.
Quinder, come. She is all spunk, all play, a little bit of sass in there.
Meet Detroit Police Department's newest recruits.
Ready? Sits. Yes, good
They're
girl.
still very much cadets, but soon they'll be certified comfort canines, a first at DPD.
The power that they can bring into a police department, into a community, is just massive, and I'm already seeing that effect take place.
Quinder, a 22-week-old Labradoodle, is named after Detroit's DeQuinder Cut. She works and lives with Corporal Justine Wheeler, who's on the mental health co-response team.
We do have to be disciplined with them, but they're still getting all the love and all the care and all the attention that they would just as any other pet that we we have.
Through a grant from Marathon Petroleum, DPD was able to acquire Quinder and Atlas, another Labradoodle who's right by Officer Travis McCulley's side. Once certified, they'll help on runs with the Crisis Intervention Team, which handles mental health-related calls.
As the Crisis Intervention Unit has grown and, is working so much with even child abuse and so many emotionally distraught people, a comfort dog just seemed to fit perfectly.
They're not your typical German Shepherd canine officers, so safety is paramount.
They're never going to go into a crisis call when it's active. They're only going to be going there when it's safe.
A big role will be follow-up runs to make sure people suffering from mental illness are getting the support they need.
Just that energy, it just changes the whole atmosphere, and oftentimes, again, it de-escalates, allows people to just kind of relax and soothe, and then we're able to have those conversations and help to get them the services they need.
It's twofold. These DPD officers see a lot, and sometimes you need a little love from one of these guys. They'll support morale within the department too.
It's amazing to see how it transforms the workplace. It's like nothing I've ever seen.
Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Certainly interesting.
Yes.
Very cute little puppies there.
They certainly are.
But not quite the German Shepherds that
No,
you see going out. So
I
these
was
ones a little
thinking
more,
that.
little friendlier in their approach.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got showers, thunderstorms possible. We have flood warnings across a good portion of the area, flood watches through tomorrow morning. And we do have that risk of maybe a strong or low-grade severe thunderstorm heading into the afternoon. You can see we have a low tornado threat, a low hail risk, and a low wind risk. That's the nice thing is our severe threat today, nothing like what it was yesterday. But showers, thunderstorms continuing to roll in out of northeast Oklahoma. And again, right through here, right where we don't need any more rains, where the heaviest rain is expected, that's where we could see a strong or, again, low-grade severe thunderstorm. Shower storms will continue through the afternoon, into the evening, and overnight. Now, overnight, they do become a bit more scattered, but the storms that we see, and that continues, by the way, through Thursday, they'll be scattered, but the storms we do see could produce heavy rain. Our severe threat tomorrow, considerably lower, not as impressive, which is some good news. We might get a little bit of an opportunity to dry out. Then we go into early Friday morning. Here comes another round of thunderstorms, very heavy rainfall expected, and a strong storm or two will be possible. But again, we're not anticipating at this point any kind of significant severe weather. Once we get past that complex, a few lingering showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and then by the afternoon and evening, it's just about all done, and we'll finally get a bit of a breakout there. Going through the morning hours, again, starting at 61-ish, and then we'll just kind of hang out in the low 60s. Thunderstorm chances building in. We'll have south winds occasionally gusting to 25, and it should make right about the mid-60s, maybe some upper 60s here and there with those scattered storms continuing. They continue through the evening into the overnight. Southwest winds tonight gusting to 20, and our lows upper 50s and low 60s. And I want to take a minute. I know we don't usually show the extended forecast here, but we've got more things to talk about. So low 70s Thursday, Friday. Okay, a little cooler Saturday. Great day Saturday, really. Sunday, not bad. Monday, warmer, but still not bad. However, as we head into the second half of next week, you see these thunderstorm chances. They may not be a lot at this point, but they're there. And unfortunately, looking at some of the longer range data, we're probably going to have to watch those thunderstorm chances for the possibility of additional strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into next week. So make sure you stay weather aware. Make sure you've got the KOAM Skywatch weather app. One more look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Yesterday's storms brought strong winds and flooding to parts of the 4 states. Fallen power lines, uprooted trees, downed limbs, and damaged buildings could be tracked from northeast Oklahoma into southwest Missouri. In Pittsburgh, almost 3.5 inches of rain fell within 45 minutes, bringing flooding to parts of the city. The wastewater treatment plant in Pittsburgh is back to normal operations. The city of Pittsburgh notified the Kansas Department of Health and Environment that a failed inlet pipe has been replaced. We reported last week the plant had experienced operational problems due to an underground pipe failure. That failure led to concerns about elevated levels of E. coli in Cow Creek. And a couple of area schools have teamed up for an educational opportunity. Missouri Southern and Crowder College formalized the 2+2 pathway for students pursuing a degree in agriculture business. Now, this allows students to complete 2 years at Crowder, followed by 2 years at Missouri Southern to earn a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Business.
A reminder, we've got these thunderstorms beginning to roll in. Nothing severe. We're not anticipating any kind of significant severe weather, but a strong storm or two possible. And you can see quite a bit of lightning and heavy rain with these storms as they continue to lift to the north and to the east. Reminder, with those strong storm chances, it'll be mainly in the southeastern portions of our area here, but we want to keep an eye on that. Highs today, again, right around mid-upper 60s. Scattered storms through the day, flooding concerns through the day, heavy rain through the day. Scattered storms again tomorrow. They'll start to come to an end by Friday afternoon. We've got a great weekend ahead of us, and then unfortunately, got to watch potential for additional strong to severe thunderstorms next week.
Yes. Well, yesterday's storms didn't stop a few students from some friendly competition as the Southeast Kansas Special Olympics Youth Track and Field event hit the Plaster Center at PSU yesterday.
More than 240 athletes under the age of 21 from more than 20 area schools attended the event with the help of just over 140 volunteers for a day of competition and camaraderie. Certainly an exciting event. And I know with all the storms yesterday, glad to know some things did not stop, but of course we got a lot of wild stuff through the area yesterday. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We'll be back with the latest news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.